Rise back from recess, and we are closing out our budget hearings with the last remaining agencies, DPW and DLNR. And at this time, we have right in front of us is the RDH for Department of Public Works Rota. And so with that, I would like to yield the floor over to the RD for any opening remarks.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members. Sidhu Sumasi for having us here. So my name is George Atalik, Department of Public Works, Resident Director. Mr. Chairman, no, is, I guess Public Works, deals with a lot of bullish and critical areas that we're encountering. So we submitted a budget proposal before you guys. So it's what mas is concern gi mas it's the operation fundings that's very critical gi gizahami as a department. If you mas concerning the repairs and maintenance, and the other hand is solid waste. So the overall the operation the get my season mommy concern is the fundings if you know the repairs and maintenance. The solid waste, I guess on the other hand, the solid waste dankulu problemata the solid waste. I guess lot of issues nezi tipping fee that they're trying to implement. It's beyond our control the department. No, this na I have no say so na no area. No, but it's been in place. We did the sub account under the solid waste para any for the revolving fund. No, right now we're very critical ni manggaygan pago gia na sa situation gi solid waste gia landfill. There's water testing is completed for this Tatatsuk landfill. Pending application through BCQ and some agencies. Right now, landfill we're having issues with the equipment. There's one equipment that is very needed, and it's not functional as of today. It's a struggle, and yes, sometimes I reach out to you guys. We appreciate all this, the help, you guys been given the department. Sidus Masi put in it low. We're still struggling under the solid waste pay landfill. So, those Mr. Chairman, yeah. So, the first one was just operational, pretty much, So, thank you for having me.
Thank you, RD Atalik. If I may, in what was presented under the governor's, under the administration's proposed budget, are there any issues in regards to the personnel that is, in regards to any changes since the time of submission?
No, thought that changes, Mr. Chairman.
Because right now we see the one vacant equipment operator 4 that's unfunded. Is that?
Yeah. So it's just funding matter that we don't we're not able to come up with the funding. So there's a promotion that just happened a couple of months. So that's an in-house promotion. So pretty much it wasn't included on this, so we're opening that position on the later fiscal budget year. So I mean, if it's not filled in accordingly, so but that's still it's a civil service and it's funded.
Okay.
That we
because like the one of your staff who's not on here, but I know he's on the payroll. I just want to make sure that that position is secured. Mr. Ogo's position. He's not on the list of employees, but he's under your department, yes?
Ogo.
Your equipment operator 4?
Oh yeah, the in-house promotion. But see, Zachary's position was,
no, but like Don.
oh, see, Don, I mean, he's okay. You know, we
I just want to make
we
sure
just
because he's
did,
not on the list of
there's
the,
some misunderstanding.
Okay.
But he's under solid waste. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think your AO wants to join us, or if that's okay, if you're okay with that.
The equipment operator is already filled in under promotion. Mr. John Lee Manibusan is equipment operator 3 before. Now he's already equipment operator effective August 10.
Yeah.
So right now the position equipment operator 3, the one vacated, is already under examination announcement. It's already open. Don Solid Waste is already in the process for
okay.
permanent status.
So he'll be under solid waste.
Yes, it's under solid waste.
Has the department submitted any hazardous pay documents?
As of now, we are not in process because the last time it was rejected.
Last time, was this prior to the lifting of austerity or after they've lifted the austerity?
It's after the lifting of the austerity, we requested, but we were given only partial. So as of now, they are all paid 2019, but 2020 is not yet paid, it's still pending. So
Isn't that when is that before the austerity?
we
That's when the
process
austerity was
after
implemented?
the austerity, we process it.
I think from our understanding and prior discussions, the period of austerity they're not going to be receiving hazardous pay.
Actually, that's what I understand. 2020 is there's no budget for the austerity.
Okay. But since the lifting of austerity, has the department continued to submit requests
Yes, we
for
did.
hazardous pay?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Because the advice that we got was that if and when funds become available, they'll process hazardous pay so long as the departments continue to keep records and submit on a quarterly basis.
Yeah.
That's my understanding.
We submitted because I'm the one who prepared that timesheet, and the one 2020 we submitted I think since 2 years ago, and they rejected.
Right, but at least from the period of when the austerity was lifted, so when everyone started receiving the full 80 hours, from that time up until today, have you submitted requests?
No, not
Okay,
yet.
so just as a suggestion, since it was
Yeah.
advised by OMB, is continue to compile all the documents needed for the request for payment and submit it so that if and when funds become available, they can try to start paying those out. Well, it's just a matter of documentation and continuing to submit. Whether or not you think there's funds, just go ahead and submit it. That way, at least you have documentation that these requests were made, and that it's just awaiting payment, or I guess everything on your end is all set and ready for payment when those monies become available.
By the way, Senator, the one I sent you, the year-to-date budget, it was wrong. I print out the one is for June. This is the updated one.
Okay.
Until July 2025.
Which account is this again? TSD?
Yes, and it's showing here that we have available budget 35,682, which actually, when we try to when I try to entry in the requisition entry, is just showing we have money. It's only 700. Because I just tried it right now over there in the office. We only have 797 and 15 cents, but it's showing here is 35,682.70, and it's year to date to July 2025.
Do you have any pending requisitions?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have encumbrance,
Okay.
no
Yeah.
requisition or no pending what's this?
Okay. Unfortunately,
I don't know what's
finance
the problem.
finance is not available right now, but we'll go ahead and submit the
I just
funds
tried-
certification.
This is the one I just tried it in the office. I tried to enter
Or,
like a requisition. At
Director,
least,
through your
at least
office,
under
can you
$1
submit
and it's
a
only showing,
fund certification to
797.
Secretary of Finance's office, Ms. Katrina Lynn Hernandez or Eleuterio Palacios, just to verify that these monies are available? Because if what you're saying is that you have nothing pending, it's showing you have 35,000, but under requisition it's 797,
797
Right.
and 15 cents.
then they'll be able to tell you what's holding up that difference. If it's just a technical glitch, then that's something that they can resolve, so that that's money that will become available to your office. Solid waste, you mentioned you have one equipment that's not in operation, but it's a much needed equipment. Is that issue being resolved right now, or are you needing the funds to make the necessary repairs, or what's going on with that?
It's just so Chairman, it's just the mechanic, we just, that's the pending. Parts are on a processes, they were doing special order. So we're trying to, we don't want to get into on the last new fiscal year. So we want to, if we could find fundings and, if that's available, why not? Because right now we need 4,000 plus
For the mechanic?
for the mechanic. Hawthorne, he's a technician for heavy equipment. So
And this is under solid waste?
under solid waste.
Have you reached out to the secretary?
We're still on. There's no. There's a lapse. So we did 8,000 so far for the parts itself. So right now we're working with the mechanic. So that's about 4,000 plus.
Okay.
That is.
So as of
pending.
today, there's no identified source of funding to help pay for that one.
No,
The
no.
4,000. Okay. Now, going back to the concern that you brought up about the tipping fee, can you just elaborate on that issue?
Actually the tipping fee, it's part of the collection, for every on a community, they come and drop off their household or hazardous waste, or a lot of trash, household. There's certain fees that it's been charged. So that fee, that figure, it was carried on from Saipan down to Tinian and Rota. So whatever figure, they do, it was carried down to us. So I'm not sure if there's any changes as of today. The last one that I looked at, it was just small changes because Tinian and Rota, are less impacted versus Saipan. So it's in place. It's just that whenever that we're ready to do collection. For so far, I guess we did the sub account. We're ready with the sub account, and I guess the solid waste crew are being trained to handle those processing.
Is it gonna be a fixed rate, or
It's a
are you-
fix, yeah.
And how much is that per?
For drum, I guess it's 350 for a drum, 55.
But your employees are able to take the measurements? Is that
Yeah,
what-
yeah, they're trained
Okay.
to handle those areas. If it's if it happens that we're gonna be doing collection.
And so whose advice are you waiting for in terms of
It's
the
just the
implementation?
permitting of the landfill. Everything is in process right now, so we're waiting for the application. So it's gonna work with the agencies, BCQ and other agencies.
Okay, so as soon as you get the permit, then
Yeah,
that's when
then
you'll
we'll
have
look
to
into-
start
we'll look-
implementing.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any updates on the Asadra grant?
On the
Asadra?
yes, Swiffer Grant, you know, we, I mean, for solid waste, they're on a training right now under the Swiffer Grant. So we did the training a couple of months. I mean, yeah, so that was last year. So there's another training again for the solid waste. Should end by next year, February or March,
That's for the Swiffer, you said.
under Swiffer Grant, yes.
But what about the Asadra?
Asadra, we don't hear anything from Asadra.
I thought that the last with the last update that we got, it was they were waiting on a groundwater testing, right? And so
We're done with the water testing, and we're lucky that it's all
and
clear.
so what's the next step?
It's the application. It's on process. We
And
need
is
to get an
OPD working?
application. Yes, we're still in the work.
Okay, so we are going to get some of those grants. Do you know?
Under Swiffer. Asadra, we're not, on that. But right now, Swiffer Grant is the funding for solid waste. I'm not. I don't even hear Asadra for it's I guess
But I
there's a
thought
lot
that's
of other
why-
fundings, EJ Grant, Asadra, but the Swiffer is the one that we're in the work right now. Under the 5 years plan for the landfill,
Okay.
it's under Asadra. I mean, I'm Sadra. I see Swiffer. Sorry.
And how much are we expected to receive from the Swiffer?
There's a lot of areas that are included, on that grant. I mean, 5 years plan. There's a lot of certain areas. It's like from the greenways, we have just rough estimate about 2 point some for greenways, and for the landfill, the Tatsuk, we're looking at more than 10 million project.
Just for
That's
Rota.
just only a rough. No.
And that's just for Rota? Or is
For
that
Rota,
the- Okay,
yeah.
thank you. This time I recognize any of the members. I recognize Senator Cluster.
Recently, the Senate passed the one of the bills. It's basically transferring the Recycling Act of 1999 authority from BCQ to DPW. It passed the Senate, it passed the House, and it's now with the governor's office. So this should open up, revenue streams for DPW. And just, if you have time, take a look at that bill, because it's mainly for recycling. So it can be anything from tires to beverage containers. The concept is when these items come in through the port, advanced disposal fee is assessed. And then, for example, just like a beverage container, maybe 5 cents or 10 cents. Then an approved recycler or convenience center will be licensed by DPW to accept the recyclable materials. When you buy a bottle of water, for example, 5 cents or 10 cents is assessed. When it's returned to the recycling center, you get that money back. But the way it's designed is DPW should be getting a percentage of it for operational costs. But the whole concept with this is to, rather than taxing the public, it incentivizes, it penalizes people who throw their trash in the jungle, and then it rewards individuals who bring it to the recycling center and redeem the item. So just to, for you to be on the lookout for that, to make sure that if it is signed by the governor, that at least on the municipality side, there's communication with the secretary, and so that the municipality or municipal government is ready to implement such program. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Castro.
As I'm right now, Senator, I mean, I understand the situation on the beautification tax now, 10%, we understand, the situation that, was, so, that funding, assisted solid waste, throughout, some of the time when when they freeze it and they stopped it. So, I mean, I could understand, if that's still in place, I guess we don't have to do a tipping fee, on our areas, yeah.
So that actually is the whole concept, is to you're getting the advanced disposal fees in advance, so there shouldn't be another form of collection at the landfill or transfer station.
Yes.
It's also an opportunity to reduce the costs of, for example, in the case of beverage containers, if we already have that in place, the whole concept of the other taxes like container and beautification is to pay for the cleanup, right? But
Correct,
if already
yes.
people are cleaning up after themselves, or at least there's less waste, then those taxes imposed can go down. So in a sense, it's gonna reduce the cost of for the commodities. So the general public will be paying less for items. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Castro. Any other members? Recognize Senator Calvo.
Thank you, Vice Chair Donald. Thank you, Director George, for the update. I know you have been really communicating also with your delegation in regards to the solid waste portion of it. The specialty equipment that you have that you needed parts for. I was impressed that you were able to use the LAPS 8K funding that you mentioned.
Yes.
The thing is, with the 4K and the specialty, the mechanic, are we outsourcing that through Guam, or we don't have a state level somebody where we don't have to pay that fringe cost, or how does that work?
Actually, it's Hawthorne. They have, Link
big.
in Saipan also, they have office in Saipan. So it's just, they're the only entity that, that works for Caterpillar.
Okay, private,
So-
private.
Yeah, private, correct.
Also, Public Works state level doesn't have any specialty mechanic for the equipment
No.
that we purchase and procure.
Actually, where it's just it's the mechanism. It's the computer laptop. That's
I
pretty
see.
much
Diagnostic.
we bought one, and we thought we could come in and do the upgrade it or update. I mean, bring it back to, but unfortunately it's absolute. So I guess every year this mechanisms changes. So we lost 6,000 on that unit. So because I think so that diagnostic is just only common sense. Just come in and plug it. But we lost on that diagnostic system. It's just we're not able to bring it back, or contact the dealers to do a connection. But there's a fee into that. They're charging like I guess 1,000 for a year or more, just for you to use it, because you need the diagnostic system to plug it into the equipment in order for you to either delete or work on the system, or find out what's the issue right there. Same with the car. You just come in and do the diagnostic. It will tell you, go straight to this fuel system. Then you're not able to keep pinpointing. So unfortunately, those are the reasons that we have to outsource it.
Okay, thank you for that. It just, knowing that those heavy equipments are always procured, even at the state level, you see it, specialty equipment, and, it seems like it's gonna cost us even more. How's the support with knowing the conditions? I know prior months, when this equipment was down, because that ties into the solid waste, the inspection and trying to meet the standards. But if we don't have the equipment and we're at a standstill, time can seem, it's consuming, and I can understand you as a director, your frustration. Any support from the secretary of
Um,
DPW in
I'll
regards
be-
to the request, and can they, what have they mentioned anything as far as how we can
I'll be honest,
support the
Senator,
municipality?
I mean, when I started, I mean, I introduced myself to Secretary, I congratulate him, on his appointment. And, there's some discussion, here and there, but that was it, Up until today, it's like I have to find my way, I come to you guys asking for, help, and also the Congresswoman. I keep, asking, so I mean, I say, hey, I'm sorry, but, this is very needed and much, immediate attention, because, it's a very, very environmental impact, Right now, the landfills, we're violating the whole 9 yards at the landfill right now. I mean, say, basically, it's up to you guys, Just cite us if you want to cite us, but we're not able to fix this issue right now. So, Secretary Yumo, I mean, I'm just being honest, his up here where, Tinian and Rota, I haven't, the last time we met is with the LT Apatang, and that's the only time. He, promised, I brought him to the office. We sit down with, our, crew, but that was it, I'll be back, LT Apatang say, hey, Secretary, can you paint the building? That was, he just laughed at it, and that's it. I'm just being honest, This is how I feel. It's not about me as a department head. It's about, it's about the employees and the community. Because that's what we're here for, to work for the community. But unfortunately, I have no idea up until today.
Thank you, Director, because that's reflective of, the department as a whole. So we really need to, on our end, with the Fiscal Affairs Chair, to really get to the root of this and see what type of support, because we're one system on both municipalities, and we did have the testimony from Tini and the other municipality on certain things that, because if we don't get this fixed, this is like the domino effect. We get that fixed, we can, meet compliance, therefore we can ensure that the permits are needed, and then we need some sort of revenue funding like the tipping fee of $3.50. So everything goes hand in hand, and I know you sent it through us, so it's probably just reinforcing it, revisit, and from their point of view, and checking in with the committee on how we can support, and even the funding system. Unfortunately, we did lose that, how you said, freeze on the beautification tax. How's the, if I may, too, what was that? In case of emergency response, like Senator Donald mentioned, with continually reinstating your OT and, past due accruances. It's just continually on our end doing our part. There's just so much you can do. I commend you for all your efforts. I know you are a mover and a shaker, and with the team, how I see it in our community, we're working collaboratively, even for the kids in my PSS, where everybody comes together, Public Works, Mayor's Office, collaborating to move and make, do things tangibly that we can control. But at times, we're just gonna need to sit down, have that conversation, and hopefully we can, through this testimony, can ensure that he comes down to both islands and updates himself, because it's reflective of the state level and our operations as a whole. So we're looking forward to doing our end to see how we can do as, support as lawmakers, and the financial stream on where we're gonna, tap into subsidized funding as direly needed. Thank you, Director, and thank you for the Public Works team, most especially disaster, fall is coming around. We never know, and those are the things that you guys are the front line. So I commend you and your team, and hopefully we get the support of the state to come down and assess the municipalities urgently. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Senator. Just to, I did a letter to the secretary, asking for small, small fundings, just to, it's not about the roads and ground, it's about the land, the tatsuk, just for the equipment to push the trash, He sent me a letter that, I'm sorry that, you're not generating. Okay. I have the letter at the office. So, with the good mayor, and, I really, give the mayor, dangkro na si Dus Masi, because, the mayor's been, on a back mode, so it's like, already, afanisita, stige salapi para diesel, gas, it's just makat because right now we entered the rainy season, We're dealing with 41.6 miles natsalan, just itsalan and it's very Route 10 is we're okay, it's paved, but those areas that are rough terrain, the Route 100 itself, it cost me 6,000 on a monthly tempunutsan on a rainy season, just to go back there and fix it. That's only 6,000, and that's twice a month. We just finished it yesterday, doing all the damaged areas, and I think so we're going back again next week. So it's just, it's just, I'm just fortunate that I have lapses right now, it's just, without that, I'm still gonna be banging the mirror, or, you guys, si Diyos Masi, delegate, is a we appreciate it, I know small amount will, make a difference, So those are the things that's very impacted, If we have Typhoon Pagua, and I don't have anything to move, I'm not able to move, just, we've encountered the past, a storm. It's just crazy. We just have to depend to the mayor. The guagua ni diesel, talking about $9 to $10 a gallon. It's very expensive. Parts, it's just not parts. It's just like, for all those repairs and maintenance. But the repairs are, are manageable. But when it comes to the small repairs, but the whole chunk, it's dongkulu. For this new equipment, they're very expensive. So appreciate it, Senator. Sidos Masi.
Thank you, Senator Caldwell. Director, I think, moving forward, just as we've mentioned with the other department heads, if there's any requests that you feel needs an urgent response or support with, feel free to CC copy the delegation as well.
Okay.
As you stated, as much as we are challenged with local funds, we try to support your department in terms of what is needed and how we can support you in terms of maintenance and repairs for these equipments. But if it comes to much larger cost, such as the requiring the assistance or the need of a maintenance or a mechanic to come down, then if you've made the request to the secretary, please feel free to reach out or to CC us so that we're aware of some of the stuff that you're asking for. And if you're not getting the response that you need or not getting any reply or acknowledgement of the email or the request that you're submitting, then we can also follow up with the secretary.
Okay.
But I also invite you on your next visit to Saipan, whenever that may be, let us know so that we can schedule a visit with the secretary. But if the chairman decides to call in DPW as one of the entities that will be hearing out during this budget process, we'll share that concern with the secretary and also make the request for him to come and visit Rota more frequently. But at least for the other divisions, I have seen some visits by some of the different divisions within the department. Is that has that been helpful in any way in terms of those that actually come down? Have they been providing you with the support or the assistance, or are the requests that you're sharing with them being ignored? How has that been working out?
One example is just, the federal highway. We understand, there's some areas that are, on the local level, but on the federal highway, I'm really pushing because we're having issues right now with, for that area, Route 100 is Santati, on those acquisition is the land compensation. It's very hard because there's so many areas we're not informed and we're not aware. Then we're all caught up, but everything happens there. It's not being shared here. So when we come together, it's like, afa tiningo mo taza. Hasta mano na paragwa tiningo mo amin Hamza tumungo, you never share, you never masya munun toma pariset. Man mafato amangi, but in Stephen Matugi office. They just come and do their inspection on Route 10 and they're gone. Whenever they need help, maagang si Dave magi. Dave kasi na unsogisti on the federal highway. Often at the from my tauton, just come to the office and present them to then we go from there. So,
but it looks like something is moving, at least with Route 100, right? I mean,
so
according to Chief, or with with the email communications that were included in with Chief Chief of Staff Dean, there's all these meetings that are taking place. I know there's one next month.
Next Friday? Yeah. Friday.
Or next week?
Yeah, next week, Friday.
Yeah. So at least the 100, Route 100 issue is being addressed, but not in the speed we wanted, right? And so I know there's a big issue on, like what you said, the land ownership.
Compensations, yes.
Land comp. That's also another issue that, that the legislature will need to address in terms of identifying the funds to pay out the land compensation. But if there's anything else that we can support you with in terms of getting updates or getting these meetings with the different divisions within DPW or even with the secretary, we'll try to help coordinate that and assist in that sense.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we could, come and, get all the, under the federal highways, Michelle, and all those areas that are, so we could do, collaboration and work as a team. Because this is just one department, but, we have so many things going on.
Right.
So, appreciate, Mr. Chairman, if that's possible. We could come back and, revisit, this, so we could be on one direction.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's something that we'll try to coordinate. And again, we'll bring it up if we end up calling DPW. And however, I understand that the majority of your needs are very similar to the rest of the agencies in terms of operational expense. Right now, the proposal for next fiscal year is that all these operational and all other expenses are being given to the mayor to help address every agency's needs. And so in the meantime, we will try to assist you with any revolving account issues that you're currently experiencing, including the issue that was shared by Ms. Noemi, and then we'll try to get that situation addressed so that you can have access to this revolving account. Otherwise, if there's something that, if somebody else is utilizing this account, then we can also address that issue there.
Yeah, those are the things, Mr. Chairman, the revolving account that we have from the Technical Service Division. It's just, so Satna, it has to go to the Secretariat and, I'm not sure where I'm trying to understand, does it goes directly to us or finance do the deposit, but it's just.
But that's something that we're slowly trying to address in terms and making sure that that is the case. I know that the Senate had passed the legislation that would transfer the solid waste to the municipality. Unfortunately, it's still in the House. I'm not sure how they're going to proceed with it, but that's something that we can follow up on. And so that's one step to decentralizing some of the activities that are happening within DPW and giving more control and responsibility to you as the department head for our municipality. And so if you have any other account issues that you're concerned about, then let us know so that we can try to address that through legislation. But the TCD is the TSD on what you brought up, that's something that we can also consider, and including similar to what we did with the solid waste, to where it's going, the proposal is to have you as the expenditure authority with approval or consultation with the mayor. So we'll continue to see how we can address that. But for now, until when the committee gets together to deliberate on the budget, and if there are any additional funds that we may see coming down the pipeline, whether it be through the MPOT loan that the House is considering or other funding resources, we would take your requests into consideration. But just so that you have some funds to operate on, we'll try to address your TSD account.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Mr. Chairman, as well, the other one is the equipment rental. Right now we're not able to do a service for an equipment rental. So all we do is the customer will go to the gas station and purchase diesel, then bring the receipt, attach it with the request paper. So that's the only way for us to, because the equipment rental goes to the general. It doesn't go directly to us. So I was explaining that to the Congresswoman, please, how can you get this similar to, the disking service at DLNR?
Yeah.
That the equipment rental goes to us directly to our revolving. So,
Okay.
but right now the equipment rental goes directly to the general fund. We don't.
Okay.
So we're not able, even you make pay a payment to, but we're not able to get that money out and put a diesel on the equipment and go to your
Okay.
requested, service. So, it's just, that's what we're doing
Thank
right
you.
now. We're not
We'll,
able
we'll
to.
share that with Rota's rep, and we'll see if our colleagues from the second senatorial will also, maybe would like to support that, Representative Patrick. But we'll also try to bring it with the House, seeing as they're the ones that would have to initiate this legislation.
And one more, Mr. Chairman, is the under solid waste na vacancy. I guess you can see on the mummy request under we're trying to get a two by baba dos na vacant by a trades technician, but this opening it's for we're trying because we're right now we're handling the wastewater, the sewage work. So we've been trying to figure out how to because right now it's a mechanic employee that does this, so that's way beyond his PD. So this is is doing it just to assist, and it's very critical need is to get. So I just it's best if we put it under solid waste because it pretty much sila mas maatan na fit estige in the area to do the wastewater services, because on the wastewater to operate you need two operators
Okay.
as per EBCQ regulation to manage and handle. So it's very critical on this is to get na position for solid waste.
Okay. Thank you. We'll look
So,
into that. Yeah.
If that mechanic off, we're not able to, and it's very critical, that people will come, hey, can you come and do the service, because it's overflowing. It's it's beyond control, and somebody has to get there and do it, or else it's gonna be a community hazard, environmental. So it's challenging right now. I mean, we did the discussion, I guess in the early about 2 years ago, but I just put it into this budget proposal for this year. So I hope that's one to consider now.
Yeah. Thank you.
very-
We'll go ahead and take that under consideration, seeing as how Julian is the solid waste part of the suspension? The solid waste revolving the suspension under concurrent. Okay. If there are funds available, then we'll consider that additional request. At this time, I recognize Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Director. Thank you for your time. And you mentioned earlier about mechanic. whenever other department has a breakdown on the vehicle, you guys does the
Everything,
fixing?
all departments, Senator, we're assisting every department.
So,
You know, it's just that, please, can you bring your, for service, can you bring your, all the proper necessity for maintenance? So yeah, but all departments, from PSS to fire, we prioritize fire at any time, even after 4:30. EMS, we're assisting them 100%. So EMS, fires, and EPS is very important in our,
so
but assisting.
whenever there's a breakdown, do you use your funding to get all those?
No, it's just labor.
The-
No,
the-
Senator, just the labor.
Just the labor?
Yeah, labor only.
But
No
you
funding.
well, you guys don't get any overtime if it's after hours, and then you start fixing, for example, emergency vehicles like DPS and fire. You go beyond working hours. No?
Yeah, it's just sometime. I mean, we encounter twice.
So those hours
after.
are how you
It's just come time, no.
just come time?
Senator? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Director. Thank you, no.
Thank you. If there's nothing else from the members, RD Athletic, we thank you for your time here today. And we thank you for doing all you can to try to live within your means and also be resourceful. And like I said, DPW is it's a much more complicated issue when it comes to the different accounts that are being overseen by the secretary. And so, as I mentioned, these are stuff we're trying to address now, inclusive of the solid waste, which is already in the pipeline. And so all other issues we'll try to assist in addressing your needs, as well as being able to comply with some of the directives that are coming down from the Secretary's office. And so, other than that, for now, as the committee deliberates, like I mentioned again, we'll go ahead and start working on that. Funds your revolving accounts and try to address those issues so that at least that's something that you can continue to operate on. And so, if there's nothing else from the members, Mr. Atalik, we thank you. And
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As pues go makaristi, dangkul po limata sa, sina man frontliner sam na, lo kada typhoon no the declare manggaya man sa tambayam na, so those are the main, tana siguro na man mahungukam na as a critical department area, so we appreciate at least some, como sinamzo no, mo recognize the department sa kada typhoon manggayam, sa nanay, agradecimiento amzo como sina fasina atan sa tana siguro na often ma-recognize sa department sa tisinang muzo nga gitsalan, until everything's clear, the secure and safe. So we're dealing with the right of way. So si those sumasit ni tempon mizo, senagradecis, I hope it's in a budget timegagay lo, como sina in consider sa atan za, timegay. So sistigi o gagagaw gini na budget didi estigi unisita mas lo put para ta na gua no didi no havam pareo na sa utunga na makat toro departamento no, so za makat pa mo na kala no pa para mo na para makat. So si those masi como sina considera sa atan, senagradesi. So those masi, Mr. Chairman and member.
thank you, Director. Last on our list is Dylan, but I don't know if he's still in the building or he left. We will take a 5-minute recess. Back from recess, and the last agency that we have on our list is the Department of Land and Natural Resources, and we have in front of us Conservation Officer, Mr. Jim Athalake, filling in for the Resident Director. And at this time, I would like to hand the floor over to the officer.
Yes. Good afternoon. For the record, my name is Jim Michael Atalik, and I'm Conservation Officer with DLNR. To our floor leader, Sir Senator Donald, Senator Cruz, and Senator Mendola. Good afternoon. Oh, ready, Senator Covo. Okay, thank you for this opportunity again to be before you guys for the department's budget for 2026. We have a lot of in our departments that we really need help. I know you guys have all the narrative for each division. We have 5 divisions for DLNR. And for each division, it plays a big role as far as the agriculture to move on. And there's this dog control program that's been transferred to the to DLNR, and it's been temporarily being assigned to the Division of Fish and Wildlife. But unfortunately, this dog control act don't have any staff. So we're here to ask you guys to find a way, because I believe there's no position, or unlike in Saipan and Tinian, where they have their own officers that actually just does the dog control. Yeah, and the other thing too that are main, because fuel is very important to all the operations here, not only the DLNR but to all the departments in Rota. And the other thing too, our disking service. We have one tractor that's going out servicing the farmers, and we do have an extra one where we're still waiting for help to bring in John Deere mechanic to look into what's the issue. They've been trying to fix it. They spent already, I believe, over $3,000 plus just trying to fix the tractor. And just mentioning the tractor, we are asking for some FTEs. We currently have one disking service operator that's going out servicing all these farmers, but we cannot rely on one. We always have to have extra another manpower to go out and assist, because it's hard to have only one and you don't have a spare, like the car. You always have to have spare tire, right? So in case this individual is not able to perform the job, somebody else will step in and start giving the service, because I don't know, but the agriculture is very important right now with our economy. Rota is known for exporting thousands and thousands of pounds of sweet potato, taro, name it, going out. So we need to encourage our people, and then the service, we need to give them the service to start planting, because that's where the money's at right now. Tourism is not, they're not here right now to bring back our economy. So, we got to think outside the box how to make money. Thank you.
Thank you, Officer Athalake. Going out to the, just referring to the issue that you brought with the tractor, this seems to be a recurring issue every time we come. There's some issue with the tractor, and these. Are we talking about the same tractor that was purchased by the delegation appropriated money for?
Correct. That's the tractor, Senator, and
so it's never been repaired since the last time this issue was brought up, or?
Our director has been very actively asking for assistance, for somebody to help us bring that back. I don't know if it's factory defect or what, we don't know, because it's showing on the manual that it needs a computer, right? And the technician to come and look at it, but we're short for funding as far as the department. We don't have any funding to pay this individual to come in, maybe like $4,000, $5,000 to bring an individual mechanic to under his own computer machine to read what's the actual problem, because right now what they're doing, they're just pinpointing which one, you're spending money, and you're not going direct to the issue. You keep going around and not, like I said, you're not going to the direct to the problem. They're just guessing by the book.
Thank you. I think at one point, Mike Cruz, was offering to have his employees come down to assist, because they are familiar with some of these equipment, and they would offer their expertise. And so I think that was something that we were kind of working on, but we're also still trying to identify the funds so we can also bring them down to help service some of these equipments that you've mentioned. I saw in passing that the director for I forget what division, Mr. Ogumoro,
I think almost under agriculture.
Agriculture.
Yes.
Do you know if he is here to discuss or share about the grants that some of our people have applied for?
Senator, I maybe will have to get back to you now on, because I'm not aware of what their business when they're here in Rota, because I didn't attend their meeting.
Are you aware of the grants that?
I'm not aware of that. We'll get back to you, Senator. Maybe we'll just
Okay.
write that now.
And going back to your request on the dog control, how much and what position is would that fall under?
Right now, Senator, because our director, he went up to Saipan and had a meeting with the mayor, Mayor Arbery. So he asked the Mayor Arbery for help, like to see where to start and how to open the position in Rota, because right now we don't have, right, the index, right? They don't have that, so they're trying to create a position, right? But there's no, at the same time, there's no funding for it. So what they have, we're actually looking for 4. We have 1 manager, and looking to have 1 administrative officer, and 2 individual dog control officers that will go out and enforce the dog control.
Okay, can you provide, are those positions listed under the civil service?
From Saipan, yes, they do have. So right now I just spoke to our AO, Sibella, 2 days ago, that we're inquiring actually with the OPM as to how to open a position. So they told us that we're gonna have to request, right, with some sort of supporting document to justify the position.
Okay.
So
Yeah, because it's kind of unique here in Rota. It's a local law, but under Saipan and Tinian, it's administered by the mayor's office, and so they would use their staff to go out and address those stray dogs issues. But if you can provide the committee with the actual position title of what it would be called under the OPM, and those salaries associated with those positions, and share with the committee, that's something that we can deliberate on in terms of what the fiscal impact would be, as well as whether these positions are listed under OPM or if they're something that you're going to have to justify so that we can establish these FTEs. But absent any funding currently, maybe that's something that the department can work on in terms of making that justification to OPM to begin formulating the guidelines for those positions. Floor is open to any of the members. I recognize Senator Cabo.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Atalik, for representing your department. I just want to mention, well, Senator Donald did mention, because I've seen it, witness I don't know if it's it is under the mayor, so it's a grant, right? The program where they have for the dog control, the topic on the dog control. So it's good. I know in the meantime, you know, the FTEs and trying to get new personnel involved, and whether we have it in place or not, is just the proper training for our in-house personnel. So we're looking forward to that, because I know it was brought up to our attention in the past. I know we had it under the municipality, correct? And Senator Donald is aware of that, and Julie, House Rep Julie, for the delegation. So, and number one, you know, so we're looking forward to that, how we're going to implement that in place, and ensure that we get the, you know, see what we can do in getting the program start up and running and started. Another thing was you know, like the tractor. I remember the solicitation to the delegation in regards to support, similar to Public Works. We're just trying to find every avenue stream to see how we can cost share and help each and every one out in regards to all our constituting departments. Number one is fuel. Sometimes, like DPS, you know, their testimony is you're going to have to pick and choose your battles, whether you're going to go out on routes based on your fuel consumption and what you have in hand. So it is going to be a stringent year in regards to how we're going to, you know, share the costs, as well as, you know, the measures of services until such time we have. Like the special equipment, I know we do have three local auto shops, you know, and when we're always talking about computer boxes, I know they do diagnostics for vehicles, like Quality Automotive. Then we have the 670, I forgot the shop there, Mr. Pete Taitono has their specialty service. You know, maybe we can look at that government-private partnership in our backyard and see what we can do with these John Deere, you know, and Bobcat elements, where we're not forking out people, but how we can collaborate and bring that service to our island. That's just another creative idea. You know, the agricultural market too, and we're talking about import, export, the taxation on that. There's so many wonderful things that we have in mind. Is just getting all the stakeholders together and tackling each priority hand in hand, from the most severe to the least. In addition, when I talk about fish and wildlife, you remind me of the bill that is out for the licensing, you know, for hunting and overpopulation of the deer, and having it in 2 different seasons. So we're hoping that pulls through as well, you know, for the department. So we're just here to continue to support as you do request for the state level. CC our department, municipalities, as we usually do, to see how, you know, it's transparent and how we can hold each other accountable for that shared cost in the meantime, until such revenue streams come our way, whether it's grants or subsidized income. Thank you, Mr. Atalik, for your support and our department's support in continuing to stay alive and afloat.
Senator, with the for the dog control, we're currently working with the mayor to start enforcing. So we're just waiting for our AO to start with the letter, the public notice for them to start registering your dog. And going back to that, you mentioned about that deer, what they built that they're sending out. The bill is okay, right? Because we generate funds, but then we need more enforcement in there to enforce, because right now anybody can just go out and start shooting deer or whatever, you know, they want to do out there, because the fact that in the absence of the officer, they're not going to come in and get licensed, right? So we need to help the officers, and then we can start enforcing, because we need to push these people to come in and get licensed, right? If we're not out there, they're not going to come in, right? They're gonna doing illegal poaching, right? So you need to balance that, right? I'm just saying that's my own opinion, right? No, thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Thank you, Mr. Atlee.
Thank you, Senator Como. Officer Atlee, the disking position that you're requesting for, is it similar to someone who's already providing the service? I don't see a title that is associated with somebody who would be assigned that duty.
Senator, yes, we do have right now, which is
Just
in
be
well,
the-
he's in well Chopfruit.
Oh,
He's
so
only
equipment operator too? Is
yeah.
that-
So we wanna, it's hard where only one individual is really working hard. So we need to help him too, right? When you help somebody, they're gonna be more active in I'm gonna go to work tomorrow, but if my salary is only 16,000 and I'm doing like 20 plus per annum's job, I mean, it's not right. So we need to, just the cost living in Rota, Senator, it's hard. So, people, they're trying to find a living too. So we want to try and help them. So once this position is open, we can open the operator 1 and then move him up to operator 2.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Since we're on the topic of these services, based on your understanding or knowledge, are you aware of any changes to the fees that are that we've been charging our people?
Senator, that's a good question because even me, I approached the director and we were telling him that we need to do something because the disking service is cheaper than the fuel, right? So any breakdown on the tractor, it doesn't even match. Not even you can't even buy the tire, right? So you're right, and it's a good question to. I think they can do it through administratively through the secretary,
Right.
and change the fees. We're not trying to,
Make a
like
profit
disencourage
or-
the farmers, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because there's two things here: subsidy farming and the commercial. So we need to categorize the two and say commercial pays more, right? They're making thousands of dollars versus people that's just trying to farm for their own food and their family, right? And to share with others.
Yeah.
So they need to adjust these two, right?
Yeah, and I understand that, and it's the same concern that was shared on Tinian, where they're still charging a very minimal fee, almost equivalent to what the fuel cost is, or even less. And so we want to encourage the department heads to make that request to the secretary's office for consideration of changes to any rate structure or fee structure. But again, this has been concerns that have been brought up year after year, and so I don't know if there's any update. If the secretary is not responding to these requests, then that's something that we would like to hear so that we can try to see how we can address it. But if nothing's being done, then it's going to be the same concern that will be brought up next year, right? So we hope that the RD can initiate this discussion with the secretary, and if there's any resistance or any concerns coming from the secretary, we can try to address that. But it's just, again, this is meant to just help your department fulfill its duties to provide these services, but also to help fund the necessary costs in providing these delivery of services. And so other than that, these are thank you for sharing the needs of the department. It's something that the committee will take into consideration. In the meantime, please, when you're able to, provide the committee with the breakdown of these additional FDs that you're requesting for. And again, it's something that you can be working on with OPM as well. If there's anything else we've missed or you've missed in sharing with the committee, please feel free to share that with any of the members here prior to the adoption or budget deliberations, and we will continue to take that under consideration.
Good afternoon, Senator Jude, Chairman. Good afternoon. Yeah, thank you for that question. For the Fish and Wildlife, Senator, like I said, we mentioned earlier that, that bill is okay, but we need more enforcement. So we're trying to, maybe we can try and get 2 more positions. So we are asking for 1 conservation officer 1 and 1 conservation officer 2. It's there in the, under the Fish and Wildlife, the narrative. So we're hoping to get 2 more individuals in there. So we can have enough manpower to go out there and enforce, so we can have these people come in and get their permits.
Are you aware of any lapses in your current budget that would allow for your department to do promotions for someone who's a conservation officer 1 now, so that that person can be a conservation officer 2?
Okay, Senator, I did. That's a very, thank you for that question, and it's a very good question, because there's 1 position actually, that 1 individual recently resigned. So I spoke to the RD and the AO, and I was suggesting that to use that funds to do an in-house promotion, and then just minus whatever and add it to the salary to equivalent officer 1 or 2. And I know that we have that. I don't know if that FT is going to roll over, because I know September 1st, new fiscal year, right? Budget. So if not, then it's the time is too short already for us to do that, because
So how many are employed currently under that division?
there's currently 5 conservation. We have 1 inspector that he needs already to be an officer 1.
Okay. So
He's overdue already.
I
He
don't
needs
think
promotion.
that the position in which was recently vacated is in the budget for next year, if that's what you're saying. You used to have 6?
No.
Or
it's still
out of the
5.
5, 1 is, you said 1 resigned?
Oh no. There's total of 5 individuals under the Fish and Wildlife. We have 1 inspector 1 that he needs to be promoted up
Right.
to officer 1 already.
But you
s-
mentioned earlier that somebody resigned.
Oh no, that's under the Parks and Recreation.
So
So
you're
that-
requesting to transfer the
I
funds?
suggested to the director to use that funds to do an in-house promotion for these individuals. Even the operator 1, right? You can always give the difference and then add it up and make him operator 2, if they cannot afford opening a new position. So with the time being too short, I don't think that's going to be possible.
But do you see that person budgeted for next year?
I
Are they on the list that was provided in the governor's submission?
I'm not aware of the governor's submission, Senator, but from what our AO gave us, he's still under the Parks and Recreation. And
Okay.
his salary is about
15.
16, 15.
Okay. Yeah. So it looks like so currently there's 3 under Parks and Recs.
Yes, that's,
There was
No.
4.
there's Nick, Jordan's the one that resigned, and you
Okay.
have Efren Tamina, and
So,
then Felix with the
Anyway,
supervisor.
that position should be included next fiscal year, since those funds were budgeted already. That position is budgeted for next year, and so that should be available next year. And so maybe that conversation could take place after the adoption of, and after the product gets signed into law, and so that's something that the director can, I don't know, restructure or reclassify or make that determination. So that position is still there, and so but additionally, the committee has been discussing some options when it comes to DPL and the need to protect our assets. And I'm referencing the resort, right? And so if we get some funds, or if DPL decides to pour in money to maintain that property, that could also assist Parks and Recs in terms of partially funding them maybe, or even providing the resources needed to have Parks and Recs assist in the maintenance and upkeep of the Rota Resort property. And so that's something that again the committee will be deliberating on, and so that's one way we can we can address filling in that one FTE and using that money that's currently budgeted for to assist in the other divisions under the department.
Yes, as a matter of fact, Senator, there's one employee under the parks that is getting, I think, only 15,000. So with that money, we can always
All right.
give them too to raise their
promotion or,
promote
yeah.
their one of their employees because they're on that minimum. So
Okay. Thank you. Since the chairman is here now, I will yield to the chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Donald, for covering down. And I apologize that I'm a little delayed coming in. I had to take an important phone call earlier. But Chairman Jim, it's good to see you again, sir.
thank you, Senator.
Will you be able to you're covering down just DFW, or can you?
No, I'm covering the whole department.
okay.
Senator.
So I just
Chairman.
wanna just quickly, how have the, okay, so I asked this yesterday with Department of Finance, because at some point in time, Division of Quarantine and Biosecurity was over with DLNR. But now it's under Department of Finance, no, Customs. But there's that portion of, because obviously the whole conversation, centered behind the access of funds, no? Can you share a little bit of what you know about the invasive species funds for the CRB grant?
Okay,
Is it under DLNR or?
That's I believe it's under the grant and it goes directly to Saipan. So whatever funding they're just giving it direct to them, not to the department.
No, but how does that affect your operations here? As far as is there a memorandum of agreement or?
I believe so, because right now we the Rhino Beetle, they're teaming up with the Parks and Recreation, tackling all those infested areas, helping them out.
Is there any funding stream that they
Senator, I'll get back
You're
to you.
not
I'm not aware
aware?
of that. I need to check with the director, but I know that all the funding's coming directly from Saipan to them.
right? I mean, I think it's tibaban
Yeah.
revisit and to see how we can be able to stretch the opportunity for other entities like yourself, the DLNR, and in this case, quarantine and biosecurity, or customs and biosecurity, because one of the things that I posted yesterday is the inter-island transport, where we want to make sure that we contain the CRB to not spread to other islands, and I think that's the impetus of having that grant, no, to not only eradicate but also prevention for to transfer. So if you don't mind, just kind of tap into it, and you don't have to provide guidance right away, or answer right away, but sometime during the course of, especially during the time when the grant is coming up for negotiation or for renewal, I think it's important, and it's incumbent upon all the participating agencies to really narrow down and try to maximize the spread or the opportunity, from trainings to operational needs, fuel for that matter, or even FTE for that matter, so need help. So I just want to kind of mention that. The other thing is, can you please? I flagged this, and I've been wanting to do it, but we never really kind of zeroed in it. Can you talk about the land registration responsibility? Gagini dos na FTE if active right now. What do you normally have them do?
That falls under the survey.
Correct.
Yeah.
What do they normally? What
So
do they do?
what they see Roman, because he's a certified surveyor, and
Uh-huh.
then we have one trainee which see Jeff. So what we do is we have any government projects or what, right? He goes out and assists with the projects.
Just to locate the.
To locate the marker or to survey the elevation, all the stuff. So Roman is the one that's doing that.
Okay, is there anything outside of that, like for agriculture sector?
I
Like
know
to-
that Roman is limited, right? Because DPL, right? They have their own surveyor, so there's some stuff that Roman can't perform.
Okay, I guess.
But I know that maybe sometimes he can assist, but that there's some stuff that they're not supposed to, or he's not supposed to go out and survey.
Is there any instances whereby their expertise utilized to stake off right of way? Like for example,
I believe
Switzerland,
so. Yes.
so as to avoid land encroachment.
Correct.
no?
Yes. Yeah. One of them, they're asking for assistance.
Okay, how often?
We just have to, upon request, Senator. That's the only time whoever
That's good.
requests, we cannot.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the reason why I asked is because, there's been a lot of we notice a lot of encroachment, no, vice versa, right? Sometimes the private land, or especially the government encroaching into private land, it becomes a sensitive matter. So I think that arm of your agency is very critical. It services to hopefully ease the concern to that effect. So I just wanted to kind of ask your knowledge, or to kind of share some real-time stories as to what really is their true responsibility. When do they go out and measure up plots for our horticulture, or for croplands, or for grazing land?
Yes, Senator. As a matter of fact, we have one. What you call it? Recently, that Pablo 23-7, where the Sabana in the conservation area, organic farming is authorized to start plotting out the area. So we're gonna ask Roman to go up and start plotting those.
Is there a revolving fund associated fee you charge?
No, for down up there, I believe the director Calvo is gonna work with I believe DPL, because it's still under DPL but managed by the department. But I know that he's trying to find a way to charge, and but it's under DPL.
So that would probably be a. I guess my question is there any revolving account or fees associated with surveying work?
No.
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 All right. Okay, but it really does help, no, with your
Yes.
with
Yes.
all those. Okay, that's good. Thank you for that information.
Sure.
I'm not sure if the vice mentioned that the House had already passed their version of the budget, which there's for agriculture Rota, there's 12 FTEs. For Fish and Wildlife, there are 5. There's Parks and Recs, 4. Soil and Water Conservation, 1. Land Registration, 2. So a total of 17, 24 total, no? The active, the full-time employees right now, about roughly 24. Is that consistent?
Yes. Correct.
Okay. So, if there is any, would you like the committee to consider that one recently vacated position to include in the package?
Yes, please. So that way we can, if we can't, like, if we're not lucky to get the 2 positions, or we can actually use that funds to do an in-house promotion, Senator.
Manu Chiñas está así, no, Chairman?
Just recently, he just resigned recently, so it's just in the process of exiting and all those stuff. He's
Cool.
doing a resignation.
So this is
So-
part of what the House just passed, no? That if that.
Correct, sir. He's
So
still
we're
there.
gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna assume at a minimum we're gonna carry that over, and then once the budget passes,
They'll-
whether you re-announce that, or make some administrative discussion and decision within to help the others that are still there. We'll take all the. I caught the discussion with you and Chairman Donald, so the committee will definitely consider some of that, if not all. No.
Thank you, Senator.
Okay,
Chair.
is there any other members that have a question for Mr. Atalik? Chairman Donald, Chairman Cruz, we're good? Tazamas no, Chairman Atalik?
No, I just wanna thank you guys again, and hopefully we will get some a request, no? You know.
Basta.
Thank you and enjoy your weekend.
Okay, this is Masila, Chair.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, so that pretty much sums up our budget hearing process, entertaining the entire municipality of Rota that is being invited on the announcement. I want to thank Mayor Aubrey Okuk and her cabinet members who represent each agency, and of course the Rota Municipal Council for joining the Fiscal Affairs Committee budget hearing, and the exchange that were made in the last day and a half. So we will be announcing further budget hearings in the next few days for the central government's line agencies. And with that, any other comments? Wish to thank the staff, the OB staff, our office staff, for their assistance, and we are ready to call this. Any announcements? Oh, I just made that, no? I will be sending the memo out for the budget hearings next week. So with that, any motion for adjournment?
So moved.
So offered by Floor Leader Manglonia. Do I hear a second? Second by Senator Calvo. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. This Fiscal Affairs Committee FY 2026 budget hearing here in Rota stands adjourned. Thank you very much and have a good afternoon.